During the month of November, we opened with a shilling trading at the 3785, 3795 levels. During the month, we saw healthy inflows filtering into the market from NGOs and some offshore remittances that outweighed the demand during the month, and the shilling touched highs of 3735, 3745. It later closed the month at levels of 3740, 3750. Overall, during the month, we saw healthy supply that continued to outweigh the demand pockets during the month, hence the shilling strength during the month. We ended the month with the shilling trading at the levels of 3740, 3750. We continued to see healthy pockets of inflows, NGOs, as we draw close to the end of the year, some remittance flows coming through. On the other hand, demand from importers was outweighed by the supply. So the shilling closed at 3740, 3750, and those are the opening levels during the month of December. We continue to see an overall slightly strong shilling at the moment. At the moment, the levels are favorable for importers who were previously paying more shillings to buy dollars earlier in the year when the shilling was much weaker, levels of 3800. Current levels of 3740, 3750 give them a bit of benefit. On the other hand, for those who are dollar sellers and were previously used to selling at higher levels with the weak shilling, they get less shillings for their dollars at the moment. Overall, for importers, it's a favorable environment, relatively favorable environment for them now to buy dollars and continue their business operations. Usually for the month of December, we see some NGOs doing conversions as they close out projects for the year up to mid-December. So we still anticipate that healthy flows should come through into the market. Also some diaspora flows, though with the global economy, these may not be as substantial as they've been in the previous years, but we anticipate that these will also continue to come through, and also remittances from offshores that should be able to comfortably cover the demand. So we anticipate that the shilling may range between levels of around 3650 and 3750 in the short term, and then we may see it weaken as we get into the new year to trade within levels of 3700 and 3800 again. For the month of November, we didn't have any monetary policy committee meeting. The next MPC meeting is scheduled for tentatively 7th December. That's when we'll have the next CBR reading. So at the moment, CBR was still at 10%. The only other release that we had in the month of November was the inflation number, where we saw headline inflation at 10.6% from 10.7% in the month of October, still relatively flat and still in double digits, which still continues to point to adverse conditions in the economy are still impacting businesses with higher inflation and still relatively high fuel prices, though we've seen pump prices slightly lower than the previous month. So the outlook we still anticipate the economy to remain relatively challenged with the high interest rates and also FX rates at the moment. Overall, like I've mentioned, the economy still continues to battle with relatively high interest rates because inflation is still in double digits, though we've seen it flat and slightly easing with the rains. Of course, food is becoming more available, but we still continue to face the impact of global oil prices, which are still relatively high, and these have filtered down into our pump prices, so they continue still to impact businesses. On the exchange rate side, shilling still remains relatively weak in comparison to where it opened the year. So businesses, especially importers, are still facing the brunt of a weak shilling impacting their businesses.